Good morning and happy Sunday, Kickstart people. We hope that you guys are having a great weekend. I just wanted to start with saying thank you for doing this challenge, or Kickstart nonetheless. The reason why we're going with the word Kickstart versus challenge is simply because we're hoping that this is going to be something that we can layer in and make better and keep revisiting throughout the year. One thing I want you guys to really keep in mind as we do this is it is only going to be as good as we all make it. So participation is going to be super important. The Facebook group is going to be where all the conversations are happening. We are all in this for a different reason. So please make sure that you're utilizing it. If you just sit and never say anything, which has happened in a lot of challenges in the past, and every time I ask people, how's it going? They're like, oh, it's fine. But then they walk away and don't have anything to apply. So my hope is that as the weeks go together, we will start to make this better and better. Interaction will get more and more, and I'm going to give you guys some kind of guidelines on how that's going to work. As I've met with people through their nutrition intakes, the biggest thing that comes up is food prep, time management, all those things. So each week we're going to have different things that we are doing as tasks, we'll say. Week 1, your task is going to be documenting your breakfast each day, or your first meal of the day. I don't eat breakfast typically. So for me, you're going to see my lunch kind of kick in, as my first meal. One thing that I want you guys to think about when you're posting these pictures is that typically breakfast is going to be a lot of refined carbs. Think cereal, toast, bagels, so on. So a lot of the time we're kind of shooting ourselves in the foot from the get-go of the day because we're getting this really big amount of carbs in, not doing a lot of fat and protein, and then we're unbalanced. Your body is always going to want those yummy, delicious carbs first. As we navigate this, you'll find as you watch me, I save those sweet extra things for later in the day because I enjoy them more. I don't really care about breakfast. That's why you're not going to see me eat it most of the time. And I'm instead going to do bigger meals throughout the day. If having bigger meals is something that stresses you out, then let's stay away from that. Let's talk about the problems that you're having. Let's take a deep dive into it because I guarantee you are not the only one struggling with that issue. If none of us were struggling, if all of us had the answer, we wouldn't be coming together for this accountability that we're going to be getting from one another and trying to work on these new habits. One of the biggest things that I've learned in the last year is your habits are what are going to define your success. Okay. So you can have the goal of I'm going to food prep on Sundays. And unless you have a working system to make that happen, unfortunately, it's not going to last. So you have to spend a good amount of time bringing in these systems, habits, and hopefully as we start to do this, you'll start to feel those happening. One thing I want you guys to think about is each day you're going to be posting your breakfast. Why? Because these are easy systems to start creating. You're putting thought and time into your breakfast. You're showing other people. You're talking about what's in it. So tell us what's in it. Protein, carbs, fat. Tell us why you like it. Tell us why you don't like it. Maybe you've been eating the same breakfast for 10 years because it's easy. Well, that's great if it works for you, but it's also nice to have a little bit of variety. So oftentimes when I'm talking with athletes about breakfast, it's little tiny tweaks that they haven't even thought about that make a huge difference. I want you guys to also keep in mind that momentum is what's going to create the habits. The more that you submerge yourself into this Kickstart, the better off you're going to be. I have a ton of things I can share with you guys, but I don't always know what direction to go in. The last thing I want to follow up with you guys on the challenge for week 1 is every Friday during our challenge, it will be a Bright Spot Friday. Please do this. Small wins add up to be big wins. So it might feel so small to you, but it's important. So let's put it out there. There's going to be days where it feels like this is dumb. I don't want to do it. I'm tired. That's fine. That's the voice in your head that's telling you that you don't want change. Let's call it out. Let's listen to it. And then let's move on without it. Okay. There's a couple tools I want to give you guys for week 1. There will be some bullet point emails coming out to you guys every Sunday. We're going to get you the information you need so you can plan for the week ahead. Hopefully nothing is going to be anything that feels really surprising or anything like that. All it's meant to do is help support you guys. So if it's not doing that, please do let me know. One thing I want you guys to pay attention to, your BMR, your basal metabolic rate. If you did the InBody, it's on there. That is the least amount of calories you need to be eating every day for hormonal function. So if you are a macro counter and this is second nature to you, great. If this is brand new to you, your basal metabolic rate is the amount of calories you need, not counting in CrossFit, not counting in whatever activity you do, just for hormonal function. So to keep your body alive, to let your body burn fat and build muscle. Okay. If you can't find that number, please do let me know. I'm not going to jump super into how much everyone needs to be eating, but that is a number you should be paying attention to. So if you have questions on it, please let me know. Tools for food prep, and food prep is the biggest thing that came up in every intake that I did. Food prep, it's a thing, it takes time, but it really can set your week up for success. Week 3, we'll be diving in all week into food prep, so it's coming. A couple things I want you guys to think about for food prep. Sometimes for me, the biggest thing I do on Sunday is I chop up all my vegetables for the week. I don't always cook them right away, but the act of having them ready really saves some time during the week. So maybe that would be something that you could present this week. Another thing that I want you guys to be keeping in mind outside of just making sure you're getting your basal metabolic rate calories, I want you to be paying attention to fiber. Okay, these are fiber for women is going to be between 20 and 25 grams a day. For men, it's going to be 30 to 35 grams a day. Fiber is what creates digestion it's what makes digestion good, right? That's the end of it. If we eat too much sugar, it will stall out your digestion. If you eat enough fiber, it's going to help with speeding it up. So please pay attention to the fiber content in your food. You will find most processed foods do not have fiber. What's actually in them? None of us know. We don't eat them that much in my house. People ask me every day, how do you not? I just don't buy them. It's pretty simple because I know if I buy them, I'm going to eat them. The last thing that I'm going to give you guys for week 1, because as always, I start talking and I'm very passionate about nutrition, and here we go. I want you guys to be thinking about, if you are a reader, this book right here, Intuitive Eating, is phenomenal. It does have a workbook. It also has a podcast. So Reed and I will shoot that podcast out to you guys this week. Our goal in the Facebook group is to be interacting with you guys every day. So if you have a question, you have something you're needing support on, you have something that isn't feeling right, something that you're confused about, like, hey, Katie, I thought this was going to be that. Tell me. We can do what you need, but until you tell us what it is, we don't know. Week 1, I'm excited for, guys, calling out what people are eating in a good way, showing each other. We're going to be able to give each other ideas. Everybody does stuff a little bit different. So I'm super excited you guys are doing it. All your trainers are in on it too. So if you have any questions, please reach out to them, okay? You can find me, of course. Liv, Riley, Sandy, Reed, and I are all going to be doing this challenge with you guys. So, or Kickstart, sorry. Challenge is just that buzzword I keep coming up with. That is what I'll leave you with for Sunday. Next Sunday, I'll be back sending you guys a video again for week 2. The core concepts each week are going to change, and we're going to try to help layer these things on. So for this week, focus on your breakfast or your first meal. Focus on looking at those refined carbs. Keep that fiber between 20 to 25 grams a day for ladies. Gentlemen, your 30 to 35 grams. Your basal metabolic rate is what's going to tell you how many calories you need to be eating. Please reach out with any questions. Remember, momentum is going to create these habits. So let's work together. Let's get super interactive. Friday, Bright Spot Friday. You're going to tell us all the good things this week. I will be talking with you guys soon. Happy Sunday.